Going out to America, I was definitely excited to see what we were going to find. I set the bar for my riding high because I've watched so many amazing, whether it's BMX or skateboarding or trials, mountain biking. I don't know, you just kind of want to do the best you can. Making a street edit is there's no sort of concept to hide behind. It's just kind of based on pure hard riding. You've got these ideas that you dream about, and then it's like going exploring for something or going looking for gold or I don't know, whatever. It's all based on finding these locations, and you never know if you're going to look around the corner and find something that's going to be ridiculous, but you're still going to have to ride it. I think for me what's really cool about making a street film is that it's where it all began for me. You know, even riding in Dunvegan back in the Isle of Skye when I was young.
I could easily do it.
On my little trials bike, I'd be riding street, you know, riding up and down steps, jumping off walls. And it's what I watched all my heroes do, you know, when I was growing up reading the magazines. I originally thought about making this film around about 2016. I'd wanted to make another street film, which I hadn't done for about 10 years at that time. I mean, the streets of San Francisco seemed like a really cool place to go back to and to really step up my game a bit and try to make something cool. Wandering around San Francisco scouting for, you know, locations to make this film was really enjoyable. You know, it's really just have your riding eye, as it were, wide open to everything that there is down the street. You're just looking at every sort of possibility, every curb, every railing. Yeah, man. Need him for Alcatraz.
We're at China Banks for one of the more trialsy lines for Danny, which is quite cool.
I like this stuff. Nice practical trials.
I remember he said that from when we were here the other day, stressing.
Just don't roll the car, that's all.
Which way are we going to go? I'll go
up.
Up! Height of laziness here, isn't it? So the amount of times I've looked around San Francisco, the amount of time I've spent scouting and thinking about this film, it kind of feels a little bit like home, but it's also quite surreal being here at the same time. When you got like such famous spots, you feel like you've seen them a million times in films, so pretty cool.
One of the coolest locations in San Fran for me was Ferdinand, something I've seen in many skate film, many BMX film. It's a really cool street plaza location.
We're back.
Morning.
The wind's going.
Ready to go.
Goodness me, it's bright. Back to get some vengeance on the spot, or just to get a trick here. It'd be quite nice.
Spot's nice and clean and fresh after 5 years of absence.
First time we came to San Francisco to film for this Red Bull project was in 2017. I was here with Dave Serby and Robbie Mead with Todd Barber. typical. Oh. Good thing I have my knee pads on, because that would have hurt.
Certainly made a thud when you landed.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I was like, ah! Like I kind of went for it, but I didn't do the 180 enough. So just... They look like they're good.
I don't know what they normally look like.
They look good.
Just making myself a wee ice pack. Unfortunately, I had a wee spill off my bike, and luckily I didn't knock my teeth out, which was pretty close to doing, but I've kind of goosed my knee a wee bit. So gonna go and get it looked at. My wee legs, you can't really tell anyway. But yeah, hopefully it's just a little bit of swelling, and a few days I'll go down and I can get back to filming.
So, Daniel, it looks like you have a crack in your kneecap. The good news is that it's not out of position. The tough part is that it's a break, and it's going to take a lot of...
I feel like sometimes things happen for a reason, you know. If you look in the long term, if you can continue to be persistent and go forward with it, you know, maybe this will give you more time to practice.
Yeah.
And now that we know the locations, you know, now you can actually take some measurements and take it home and maybe practice with those things and
For sure.
And
For
be
sure.
more prepared.
I think, you know, if we did come back out, or when we do come back out to try to do this, I mean, it's always trying to get Robbie and Dave's time as well as your own. We had all the locations cleared, ready to go, and the doctor revealed that I had broken my kneecap, which is pretty annoying. That kind of put a halt or a pause on the project, and I've been thinking about it ever since, really. So, yeah. So I originally started this project with Dave because he was the filmer in Inspired Bicycles, which was the film that kicked off my career back in 2009. Dave Sowerby is an amazing BMX filmer, an amazing BMXer, and one of my good friends who I've known since around 2007. But because he was busy doing things with BSD, he wasn't able to make it on this trip. Bit of a shame, but there's more years to do different films with him in the future, and really cool to have Robbie Mead now in there as director.
As a creative director of the project, how do you see your vision come to life?
Well, you see, the best way to create a project like this is find a load of people that are way more talented than yourself and get them all involved.
Yeah, great.
Robbie is one of the filmers I've worked with the most over the years on films like Imaginate. Got Epiquen.
He's kind of the sensei of the whole shoot here.
Cascadia, The Slabs most recently, and many more films. He's one of my best friends and an amazing filmer to work with.
It's definitely been cool seeing him develop as a filmmaker and a director over the last 10 years to go from being like a camera op and Imaginate to directing a project like this.
Getting invited on Imaginate by Stu to work with Danny was pretty much the job that kick-started my whole career. Having that opportunity really, I guess, changed the direction of my filming and gave me the opportunity to do so many cool new things and work with Danny over the next 10 years. The consensus is it's going to get done in 5 tries. I'm using this as a bit of a shelter from the sun as well. I'm stood perfectly underneath it.
I have to put different gloves on, my hands are just... It is too hot today.
Danny says it's so hot, if this was in Skye, he'd be sent home from school by now.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's like, it's the same as like your school getting flooded. If it's like over 20 in Scotland, you have to go home.
Measure that.
Stop that first one, you're literally going to have the whole line in the next 30 minutes.
Oh, I can't. Good head,
I think something that's super critical to a project like this, especially after last time, is having mats and pallets, having things there that you can make a spot safe. You can try the riding out without any consequence.
Street trials, it's so easy to just twist ankles or do something like a little bit niggly, or like break a bone in your foot, hand or sprain your wrist from falling off, where I think that would just set the whole trip back.
Those are the worst. Second day, broke my kneecap here last time, and we're here second day of this filming shoot, and I'd like to make it through. This time round, kind of the way I've gone about a few of my other films, tried to go through the process kind of methodically.
I mean, he has to kind of get that muscle memory of doing it, I think, before he actually tries it.
And it means that I can live to fight another day as well. That was close. We have decided to call it a day. So I've not done the gap yet, but feeling it for the morning.
Hi. Today we have Russell Hooton here to do some excellent drone shots, and we're going to make the most of this lovely weather and get some establishing shots. And was any of that in focus? Because Duncan's filming, and who knows?
You. Share dodgy kit. AF.
Hey, excuse me, this is your camera and your lens.
Here we go. Here doing some drone shots with Russell.
Yeah.
Pretty cool having him along because he's definitely one of my
I've never done that.
favourite filmmakers.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know how to talk in front of a camera though. I haven't mastered that.
Cruising.
Danny said he wasn't nervous going back to Third and Army, but I definitely think there must have been some pressure there. I can't see how you could go back to that spot after getting hurt and not feel any extra pressure or extra nerves.
I think Danny is fairly strong mentally, and I think he's fairly good at being rational with that sort of thing. I don't think he's superstitious, but I think even then it's hard not to have that in the back of your mind, especially when he went back to like the actual location that he hurt himself on.
Well, I've been at this for about 5 hours. And I've been over the rail 3 times, well 4 times including breaking my kneecap. And I think that's going to have to do.
Good effort.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some effort going into doing that 1,000 times.
I can't,
Are you okay?
We'll carry you to the van.
I can't even, like, this is too much. I'm like,
Take those shoes off,
I'm
take
like-
the ankle braces off.
I'm like,
You can't even talk.
oh no, I know.
Sick.
Yes. Stoked.
Stoked. Only 5 years later,
Yeah.
got some redemption.
Oh my god. I can't even, you know when you're like so uncomfortable you can't even think about what to do. I'm like, quite happy with that line. That's like cool writing. I've not done anything like that before. When I look at it, it almost doesn't look possible. Like that gap for me is like really on the limit, so I should be happy. I'm too tired to be happy. I'm absolutely burst.
Probably the first hard trick that you've watched Danny do.
Yeah, quite impressive. Danny does not quit. I mean, fair few attempts there. I think he could fall asleep right there with a sandwich.
Next time on Back of the Postcard.
Feeling good today, actually. By the time you kind of get warmed up, then you're suddenly running out of time.
The levels of anxiety
start to increase.
Is this the moment you finally punch one of us?
Want to throw a bike in the sea? Done.